Okay, announcements. There's quite a few. Mrs. O'Neill would be very pleased that there's more than one on here. November 11th, 2020 is the Community Conversations with District Leadership Team from 6 to 7 p.m. And please email Angie Neal at neal_an@fairfieldcityschools.com if you'd like to schedule a 10-minute conference with the Fairfield City School District Leadership Team. And November 16th, there will be another community conversation with the district leadership team between 1 and 2 p.m. Again, please email Angie Neal at the aforementioned email address if you'd like to schedule a 10-minute conversation with the leadership team. November 19th, 2020 is a board meeting, 6:30 p.m., the FHS Catherine D. Milligan Conference Room, Community Room. And November 25th, 2020 is a conference exchange day. There's no school. And November 25th through 27th, 2020 is Thanksgiving break and no school. Board member comments. Mr. Clark.
No, sir.
Nothing today? Hey, Mrs. Gundry.
I just want to thank Mrs. Ogg and Mrs. Hildreth for their proactive approach in obtaining the EL assessment. And that's a lot of information to go through, and I may pepper you with questions later, but I really appreciate the time and thought that went behind this.
Thank you. Mr. Begley.
Yeah, I think certainly I want to echo those thoughts. Thank you for the report. But I think I also want to address COVID as it exists currently. Today, announced 5,000 cases, the numbers up dramatically. It's out there. We knew it would be. You've probably received some alerts that it's in some of our schools, that we've had cases, that there's quarantine going on. But to date, we've had very little student-to-student transmission. And as long as we can control that, then I think it would probably be, if I may speak on behalf of the board, the will of the board to continue in-person classes. We've been back now for almost 2 weeks, it's working, and it's what the kids need. And if maybe I'm just speaking for myself, but certainly it would be my will that we would continue to do in-person meeting as long as we can. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Begley. I would agree with you. My grandchildren are thriving being back in the classroom. They struggled quite a bit being remote, and even the hybrid model, they struggled. They were great the 2 days that they were in the class, but they're 9 and they're 7 years old, and so it's tough to get them motivated to do schoolwork when it's gorgeous days outside. And so I would tell you that it has benefited them a lot, and of course parents love it as well. But I would tell you that it's something that is worth, as long as we can get our parents to continue to work with their students and work with the teachers to make sure that no kids are going to school with symptoms. I think it's working great, and I'm very pleased that we made that decision to do that.
Mr. Begley, maybe I do have something now. But bringing up COVID in the schools, I think that's absolutely true. My kids, I have 2 boys in elementary school, and a big change in the last 2 weeks from them learning at home versus going in. And what you said is true. The kids follow the rules in the school, wear the masks, try to be obedient to that point as much as they can, but also for the parents to help that obedience. If they're feeling ill or not feeling well, keep them at home. But there has been very little student-to-student activity as far as catching the disease, and I think that shows positive in the kids going back to school, and we'll watch it closely. So I think it's a great thing. You were speaking for not just you, but for me as well when you spoke that, so I thought I'd speak up.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I think it's important with the holiday season coming up that parents continue to follow the guidelines that the governor is putting forward to try to keep the spread going, because it would be a lot easier for them to spread it around the holidays than it would be for them to spread it in the classroom.
Yep.
Because you have kids, you have families coming from all different parts of the state or country that could be, bringing it with them. So I would recommend to parents that if you want to keep your kids in school, please help us out by not having large family gatherings for the holidays this year at least. So,
Wash your hands, wash your thumbs.
wash your hands. Any other comments? Okay, there is no need for executive session tonight, so at this time, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved?
Second.
I heard Mr. Clark and Mr. Bailey. Any last comments, questions? All right, Mrs. Lame, you call the roll, please.
Mr. Clark?
Yes.
Mr. Begley?
Yes.
Mrs. Gundram?
Yes.
Mr. Birding?
Yes. Motion passes. We adjourn at 7:15 PM. Good night, everybody.